Hey everybody, I have the glow of lighting, but it's not great lighting. But hey, you know what? I didn't want to do this today. I really did not want to do this today. But you know what? We're going to do this today. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. All right, stop the music. Oh, it was already done. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Now, this time I'm just going to remember right at the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the funk. Hello, my name is Dawg Knight, and I'm going to be with you here for almost an hour and a half, talking about the things I like to talk about, but today maybe even talking about something that I really didn't want to talk about today, but I'm almost forced to after yesterday. Now, before we get started, I see people are rolling into the chat. Hello, everybody. C. Thomas, my good friend Corbin, got here first. Good morning, sir. And Sarah, and Chicago Mike, and Diesel Dave, and RVA, Gilded Liberty, MC. Wow, we're dropping in like parachutes on D-Day. Okay, maybe not like that, but you know, me on the Morning Night Live with my daily cup of reparations coffee, often like to make predictions. Yes, we do. Yes, I do. We, sometimes, because you do that here in the chat, but me, make predictions. And yesterday, I made a prediction that one of my... How would I describe this person? One of my people that I tend to detract from, in spite of the fact that many of the things that she says I agree with, I predicted that she would be the number one trending thing on Twitter yesterday. And I was right. Now, I don't know that it was a great Johnny Carson-esque prediction. I couldn't have already known what was in the envelope and made a funny little ditty or whatever. But just somehow, because of where she was speaking and what the topic was going to be, I just knew. Good morning, Dectran. Dectran, do me a favor, by the way, since you're here. Will you please send me via email the books you were talking about, book or books you were talking about. My email is, if you take that at Dawg Knight, put the at at the end, and add Gmail to it. Please email that to me. Just a message to you. Hi, Richo. Hi. By the way, good morning, Dectran. Good morning, Richo. So, Candace Owens. We're going to spend some time on Candace Owens today, and then we're going to get into our Twitter trends, and I might hit a couple headlines, but we're going to talk about Candace first. Now, first of all, this is First of all, some of the things Candace said were spot on yesterday in her congressional testimony. And some things I went, what? What the hell? Please stop, girl. But let's just yeah, we have to, Sarah. But first, let me just show you. Now, this kind of pisses me off because this is probably the headline of the day as far as I'm concerned. And it's not maybe a headline, but this this is such a dishonest framing. Just a dishonest framing of what went on yesterday. And because Donald Trump Jr. and he praised Candace Owens, but the way they frame this is clearly intentional. And this is Newsweek. Donald Trump Jr. praises Candace Owens for defending her Hitler comments. Now, had they put defending herself, the headline would have been honest. And even though, yes, she kind of defended her Hitler comment and her Hitler comment. Now, if you're familiar with this story, she made a kind of it's a gaffe because I know what she was intending to say, but the words that came out of her mouth just came out really, really ambiguous and made it sound like she was not praising Hitler at the time, but it just did. It was a perfect mind quoting quote. And that's Candace generally tends to she works off of talking points. Literally, she's a walking talking point. And when she stays on her script and doesn't have to always sometimes think for herself, she doesn't realize how cringy some of the shit she says is. So when she sticks to some of the talking points, which a lot of talking points make sense, very much so, and I'm not saying that they don't, but when she intermingles them with things that I go, no, don't say that because that just makes you look like an idiot. Yeah, I know it was a brain fart. Good morning, Zombie Teddy. Good morning, Chadwick Dupree. Glad to see you coming in. But this makes it sound like if no one knows what's going on and they only saw the clip of Ted Lieu holding up the little recorder playing her words, and then someone reads this this just because most people just read headlines anyway. It makes it sound like she's defending. The headline purposely makes it sound like she's defending Hitler, which she was not. But so we're gonna look at a couple things, and then I'm gonna leave this topic for the rest of my life. So. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'm sure most of you do, but I'm still going to play some of the things that we need to hear because the left is so excited that Ted Lieu put Candace Owens in her place, and it's a very good chance they didn't even listen to what she said. The right is so happy that Candace Owens put Ted Lieu in his place and whatever. And then her opening statement, I'll tell you what. Her opening statement in this hearing, it told you exactly what the hearing was about. But let's go. So Ted Lieu plays a clip of Candace Owens' Hitler comments at hearing on white nationalism. I'm going to let her own words do the talking. Now this was hi Tyler F. Good morning. This I thought was very, very disingenuous of Ted Lieu, because he wasn't going to let her say anything about it. He just wanted to. He was what's called poisoning the well, and I'm not talking about Sophane and Fat Pat over at the Poisoning the Well channel. I'm talking about he was poisoning the well by making it look like Candace Owens was defending Hitler, and I don't think, and I'm confident that that was not her intention when she answered that question at some forum over in Great Britain. But the words that came out of her mouth could easily be interpreted that way, because it sounded just the way she said it was stupid. She left some things out that she probably meant to say. But let's watch Ted Lieu first. We're going to watch Ted Lieu and how he played the clip. All right. So let's see. I don't want to do the Fox News version. Maybe there's a C-SPAN version. There's plenty. Okay. We'll do a C-SPAN version because I'm less likely to get in trouble for it. Even though it's a congressional hearing, I don't think they're going to, ding me for this. All right. Now, here, let's pop here. Now, I'm going to pop this out so you can all hear it. Okay, and Ted Lieu. Here we go. Here's what Ted Lieu did in the opening of his question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In congressional hearings, the minority party gets to select its own witnesses. And of all the people that Republicans could have selected, they picked Candace Owens. I don't know Miss Owens. I'm not going to characterize her. I'm going to let her own words do the...
No, he absolutely is going to characterize her by a clip statement which she deservedly deserves shit for, because she made a really... No matter what she was intending, the statement that came out of her mouth was stupid. Okay? I know exactly what she meant, but it didn't come out right, and it's an easy quote mine, and she deserves shit for that. So anyway, let him continue here. Good morning, Black Romeo. What's happening?
Talking. So I'm going to play for you the first 30 seconds of a statement she made about Adolf Hitler.
I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want.
Now it was funny. Oh, I'm sorry. I cut off the statement. What's funny is she's mad that she did it, but she was absolutely ready for this. Okay, now I'm playing the whole thing.
I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler.
It's funny how they have the camera dwelling on her face. Oh, I'm sorry.
But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German.
All right, so
Okay, so yeah, that's the partial statement and didn't have the question, whatever. Hi, Max Del Rio. Good morning. Now, it's funny to me, too, that while Ted Lieu is playing this, whoever's in control of the cameras in the room, because they all play off the same feed. Notice how they dwell on her face, trying to make sure that they are able to get the right picture. Because during this statement, I'm going to play it without the sound just so you can see her face, how he's playing this. Okay, so while he's playing this, they're looking for the perfect place to. They want to make sure that they want to get a picture of her looking angry. And that's the first thing, because her lips tightened because she knew it was coming. But then for the rest of it, you look, she's pretty much calm, looking at him, trying to not look pissed off. But there's plenty of places you can stop where you get the right picture. And boy, did they get the right picture that they wanted during this whole thing. Okay, they dwelled on her because they wanted to get that perfect picture of her in a still frame. And again, what she said was dumb. Okay, at least the way she said it. But I knew what she meant. All right, so let's get out of that. So that's her statement. Statement like that shows me she doesn't actually believe in conservative things. She says, "Get her away from the scripted talking points," and she messes up. Well, she messed up how she said it. I know what she was trying to say. What she was trying to say, Hitler was an awful person. If his original plan was just to make his country better, that'd have been fine. But he started killing people and also wanted to take over the world, which she considers being global. He wanted to take over be a globalist, go over all the world. And when originally he just wanted to help Germany recover, but then he started blaming other people and started killing people. That's fucked up. And we don't, so that's what she was trying to say, but she forgot about he started killing people and, fucked up. She forgot that part because she was so worried about the word. She wanted to make sure she made it a talking point about nationalism versus globalism. Dumb. She just, I don't like her. I don't like her either. Sarah, you and I are in the same boat. I think she's an opportunist. But I also agree with some of the things she says. I don't like her. We'll get into that in a second. All right, now. she's young, whatever. All right, so, but I thought her answer to Ted Lieu was pretty good too. Okay, I think thankfully they kept the camera on Ted Lieu during her response to this. Okay, but I'm going to go through her statement a little bit. I'm going to stop her here and there. Well, I'll play it through, then we're going to go through it. I'll let it go all the way through, and then I'm going to come back to it. Okay, because there's a couple things in this statement that I think are just stop doing this. Because anyway, we'll get there. I'm going to try to stay calm. I'm going to stay calm. Here. There I am. I'm going to try to stay calm today. We're going to try. By the way, before I continue, just remember that the Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the audience. Share, like, subscribe if you're not already, and if you really want to make sure I see something that you want to say, you can always hit the old Streamlabs link. Money's always a good incentive, but whatever. It's Streamlabs there, right there in the chat. There's the Streamlabs link if you like to make donations or whatever, and do super chats. 'Cause I don't have super chats. I'm not. What's that called? I'm not monetized, so I can't do super chats yet. We'll get to that 1,000 one of these days though, and I'll be able to do super, because I know super chats are so much easier than Streamlabs. Streamlabs, you got to click over and open another window and do all this other stuff. Where Streamlabs, super chats, you should click the little money thing, but whatever. Anyway, let's go. Back to this. So let's listen to Candace's statement to Ted Lieu. Now, remember, Ted Lieu played that as his introduction, but never asked Candace Owens a question. Just played this thing trying to poison the well, never asked her a question. And so until one of the Republicans, the first, I think of the guy from North Dakota who had the floor, ceded his time to somebody else. Hello, Maniac Man. Good morning. Ceded to somebody else. And then that somebody else, I can't remember who it was, said, hey, Ted Lieu played that thing. Do you want to have a chance to respond to that? And this would be Candace Owens' response. Play. Why isn't it playing? Let's try this. Oh no! What happened there? The media cannot be played. Did it get torched? Did somebody not like it? And let's go back to where. What happened? Okay, here we go.
Thank you. Miss Owens, I'm sorry. We just started recording. Would you like time to respond to that?
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Liu believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment.
Now this part, before she gets to finish her answer, cracks me up. Clearly this hearing for Jerry Nadler, clearly he wasn't listening to her, what she was saying. He's not here to hear Candace Owens. He's here to find what the best sound bites he can find from the entire hearing are. But he's not paying attention, and he stops her saying this.
It is not proper to refer disparagingly or to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again. Witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said.
Nadler, because someone told him, someone was in his ear at the same time she's talking to him, and he said, if you can hear in the background, she didn't say he was stupid. Oh, Jerry Nadler. Anyway.
May I continue?
Please.
As I said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip, and he purposefully...
Okay, I'm not going to go back to this twice because I don't want to hear it again after this. This part where she starts here pisses me off. Because what we're trying to do is maybe get away from the identity politics. I get she's trying to do this whole Brexit thing, and a lot of black people don't like her anyway. So I don't know. I don't care if black people follow her out to the Democratic Party. Some of us just figure it out and figure out that maybe not everything they're doing is the best thing for us, and that's fine. And some will and some won't, and some people are figuring out, wow, I couldn't find a job 3 years ago, but now I'm working and my wages are going up. And they'll figure that out on their own. And so it's not about, it doesn't have to be about what black people think or what they do. In fact, if her statement would have been just, instead of saying, think black people are stupid, just think people are stupid and aren't going to go do this for themselves. Anyway, so I'm good. I went back just a little bit to, here we go.
Said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was...
Now, Ted Lieu's not happy because he's having to listen to her answer, but that's cool.
To whether or not I believed that Hitler whether or not I believed in nationalism and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist would not kill their own people. That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives. By the way, I would like to also add that I work for Prager University, which is run by an Orthodox Jew. Not a single Democrat showed up to the embassy opening in Jerusalem. I sat on a plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of revealing that clip without the question that was asked of me.
Thanks, Mrs. Owens, and I yield the remainder of my time.
Oops. I don't like Candace Owens, but I just, I don't mind her torching Ted Lieu like that either. You know what? I'm conflicted right now. So anyway, so that was that, and maybe if you don't make inartful statements that can be interpreted the way it sounded, you wouldn't have this problem in the future. But clearly she was prepared for someone to bring that up. But the way he did it, too, was such, instead of just asking her about it. And, of course, but let's go to her opening statement, though, because this is the one that, what's that song? It's a thin line line between love and hate. It's a thin line between love and hate. Let's find her opening statement. That's that exchange with Ted Lieu was not that good. Where's the opening? Okay, let's find it. We'll find it. Now, I don't want the one with all the highlights. But I think she did a really good job, even though I don't like everything she said in this thing. And she said some dumb things in this hearing too. But I think her breaking down the real reason why the Democrats had this this hearing, I thought was pretty good in some ways. There's some things in it that also annoyed me because it was about identity politics. And, of all the people that the Republicans should have chose for this, I thought they could have possibly picked somebody better. So hopefully I'll find the opening statement on one of these. Let's just do this. Here, let's go here. Candace Owens' opening statement. Let's try that. Okay, here we go. The chairman's opening statement, he said... Okay, here we go. Now, this is kind of long, and we may stop it here and there on this one, too. Let me expand that. All right, here we go. This is Candace Owens' opening statement. Good morning, all you need. Good morning, everyone who's lurking. There's a lot of people here. Even if you're not in the chat, thank you for coming to the Morning Night Live. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT. All right, let's listen to her opening statement. And I am going to stop this here and there because there are a couple things in here that annoy me, and there's some things that I think she did really that were right. The lady to her left, to your right on the screen, kind of cracks me up. The faces she makes too. She's no fan, but whatever. Let's go. Hi, Jaeger Pony.
Many of the journalists were confused as to why I was invited, and none of them knew that I myself was the victim of a hate crime when I was in high school. That's something that very few people know about me because
Now this I knew. And this is a fascinating case if you want to go back and read. I was going to do a video on Candace when she first kind of hit the scene, and when they were talking about her the doxing website she wanted to bring, and so I was doing some research on her, and yes, sure, she actually won a settlement in a case that involved her state's governor's kid. So this was interesting. So here, go ahead and go here.
Media and the journalists and the left not interested in telling the truth about me because I don't fit the stereotype of what they like to see in black people. I'm a Democrat. I support the President of the United States, and I advocate for things that are actually affecting the black community.
Now, it's weird. She said that she's a Democrat. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is absolutely identity politics. That's exactly the first part that drives me nuts. And also that she said she's a Democrat. I wonder if she meant to say that. Well, I guess we'll find out someday. I don't know that she's registered Democrat, or I thought I don't know. I have no idea. She's a big Trump supporter. Anyway, here we go.
I'm honored to be here today in front of you all because the person sitting behind me is my 75-year-old grandfather. I've always considered myself to be my grandfather's child, and I mean to say that my sense of humor, my passion, and my work ethic all comes from the man that is sitting behind me. My grandfather grew up on a sharecropping farm in the...
Now, I know you can't see her on the way I have this. Here, let me expand this a little bit so that... Here, I'll fix it here. I'll make it so you can see the whole screen. Oops, hang on. Let's see. Forget. You don't need to see him. I'll just keep going.
Segregated South. He grew up in an America where words like racism and white nationalism held real meaning under the Democrat Party's Jim Crow laws. My grandfather's first job was given to him at the age of 5 years.
Now, real quick, it drives Democrats crazy when people say the Democrat Party. And I can't I'm not sure where it comes from, but there is there's somehow a racist connotation for them saying that. Of course there is. But a lot of Republicans say the Democrat Party versus the Democratic Party. Yeah, she did say she was a Democrat. I don't know if yeah, I think she misspoke there. I think whatever. I think she's a Republican, but I don't know. Anyway, that is weird. Anyway, yep, Sarah, you got it. She's using. Listen, I was thinking, she's using reverse identity politics. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. Sorry.
Years old, and his job was to lay tobacco out to dry in an attic in the South. My grandfather has picked cotton, and he has also had experiences with a Democrat terrorist organization of that time, the Ku Klux Klan. They would regularly visit his home, and they would shoot bullets into it. They had an issue with his father, my great-grandfather.
Now, even though this is a case of identity politics on steroids in the reverse sense, I love calling it reverse identity politics. It cracks me up. I don't mind. I don't mind anyone ever reminding Democrats that they were the founders of the KKK. I mean, I just, whenever they want to throw identity politics in my face, I say, well, you guys invented the KKK, so what do you want, man? Oh, yeah, Grandpa, Grandpa looks like a nice old dude, and he's there to support his granddaughter, so that's cool. The old guy sitting behind her, I don't see the old guy. Oh, I can't tell from your screens. I don't think you can see him back there. Anyway.
Father. During my formative years, I had the privilege of growing up in my grandfather's home. It's going to shock the committee, but not once, not in a single breath of a conversation did my grandfather tell me that I could not do something because of my skin color. Not once did my grandfather hold a gripe against the white man. I was simply never taught to view myself as a victim because of my heritage.
I can relate to that. I was told the same things. My grandmother especially. Now my parents both had master's degrees. You've heard my story enough times. My parents never, ever said you can't do something because of the color of your skin. My grandmother always said, hey, don't make excuses. Okay, now, not everyone, and it's not always an excuse. There is such thing as discrimination. There really is. But my attitude was, so what? I can beat that bullshit. So I that's a cool backstory so far. Let's go. Ka10. Max, hi Max Del Rio, by the way. I haven't said hi to you yet. Yeah, Ka10, tomato. That's just that's a regional pronunciation of cotton. Just like, what is it my wife says all the time? She's from Minnesota. And it always drives me nuts because my wife says TV. What's on the TV? And I'm like, the TV? You mean the TV? For a television TV? It's on the TV. No, it's a TV. Or what's the other one? Oh, bag. I'm going to put it in a bag. And she would say, I'm going to put it in a bag. A bag? What the hell's a bag? You beg for money. No, a bag. No, it's a bag. Hat, cat, rat, bag. Yeah, duck, duck, gray duck. Ha! Get the hell out of here. It's duck, duck. Finish the sentence, chat. I'm not going to continue until I see it pop up, and I know I have a delay, but it's duck, duck. Thank you, Sarah. Duck, duck, goose. All right. Moving on.
I learned about faith in God, family, and hard work. Those were the only lessons of my childhood. There isn't a single adult today.
Wait, whoa. Those were the only lessons of your childhood? How did you get... Didn't you learn to dress yourself? Anyway, sorry. That was just me being a snarky whatever. I learned a lot more lessons from my childhood, but whatever. Okay.
Conscience would make the argument that America is a more racist or a more white nationalist society than it was when my grandfather was growing up. And yet we're hearing these terms sent around today because what they want to say is that brown people need to be scared, which seems...
That is one of my number one points. They want to scare you with everything, they do. And I agree with that. They want you to be afraid. They want you to be afraid. Right now they're having this hearing because they want to tangentially tie anything related to white nationalists to the current president. And I don't think that's what he wants. But they want, that's why they're having this hearing. That's why that every time you talk about anything happening in the world, they bring up Charlottesville and Dylan Roof. Those are the two things they got. I mean, there's, you bring up violence. Oh, well, there's Charlottesville and Dylan Roof. They're like, okay, I'm sorry. That's my side.
To be the narrative that we hear every 4 years right ahead of a presidential election.
They do
Here are some
that.
Things we never hear. 75% of the black boys in California don't meet state reading standards. In inner cities like Baltimore, within 5 high schools and 1 middle school, not a single student was found to be proficient in math or reading in 2016. The single motherhood rate in the black community, which was at 23% in the 1960s when my grandfather was coming up, is at a staggering 74% today.
You know what's weird? So now my parents, we moved to what would be essentially be a suburb when I was 5 years old. But we still went to the same church we went down in northeast Omaha. Pretty much all black Episcopal church. Still involved in groups like Jack and Jill. This kind of it's a social organization for young black kids. And we spent my mother taught at North Omaha, to North High School, so we're all around black people. What's weird is when I was growing up, I don't think I knew. None of the black kids I knew were of single parents, except for one. I only knew one single mother. Like in our church, for example, everyone was married. All the kids in the church, all their parents were married, except for the one white woman that came to our church. She was the only single mother that I knew growing up until almost probably into junior high. When there was a few kids, even in my junior high, and that was during the busing era. So they were busing kids all over the city to different schools to desegregate schools. But it's weird. I didn't know. I don't think I knew a single parent. Now I know. Even now today, I know a bunch of single parents, but I didn't know a single parent back then. It's just weird. It's weird, different dynamic. Anyway, I don't know what made me think that. Maybe just what she just said there. Anyway, let's go on.
I am guessing there will be no committee hearings about that. There are more black babies aborted than born alive in cities like New York, and you have Democrat Governor Andrew Cuomo lighting up buildings to celebrate late-term abortions. I could go on and on. My point is that white nationalism does not do any of those things that I just brought up. Democrat policies did. Let me be clear. The hearing today is not about white nationalism or hate crimes. It's about fear-mongering, power, and control. It's a preview of the Democrat 2020 election strategy, same as the Democrat 2016 election strategy. They blame Facebook, they blame Google, they blame Twitter. Really, they blame the birth of social media, which has disrupted their monopoly on minds. They called this hearing because they believe that if it wasn't for social media, voices like mine would never exist. That my movement, Blexit, which is inspiring black Americans to leave the Democrat Party.
Yeah. It's weird. The whole Blexit movement is pretty much made up of black people who've already decided that they've already decided to go support Trump, and so and there are, and you know, there's a surprising number of black people who do, but it's still in very, very tiny percentages compared to the overall picture. Now, I don't know if that's changing a lot due to the economy and things like that. But then again, you also but these scare things probably don't help make that change either. And you know, if you listen to well, why not join the walkway movement? Well, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, Sarah. And either one. You know, I think there are more people coming around to that. I haven't necessarily coming around to whether or not I'm going to vote for Trump the next time. But I'm warming up to it, even though I think he's a jackass. But you know, whatever. It also just based on what the Democrats are doing. But this hearing is absolutely exactly what she said it is. They don't give a damn about white nationalists. In fact, I always used to make the joke, and I still think it applies, because even at the Charlottesville thing, the first day when the tiki torch dickheads in the polo shirts or whatever, there was about, it was estimated 400 to 600 of them. But if you ever watch any video, they do that thing where they make the crowd look bigger by putting them all in one frame right in front and behind each other. But I always used to make the joke, because I like Richard Spencer. Are you fucking kidding me? Richard Spencer couldn't fill a conference room at the Hoboken Ramada Inn. There aren't and also the thing about we were talking about the SPLC the other day, and the SPLC, their whole thing is they're raising money off of this. Okay, so it's a self-fulfilling thing. If you're trying to raise money off of something, and that's your whole fundraising draw, then you have to make sure that there are more and more and more of these hate groups, white nationalists, whatever. So you have to designate more people. You have to make it look like this is all rising. I live in for the most part, a lily white suburb. And I know most of my neighbors, and I just live my life. And there's a few other black people we've talked about this who live out in the suburbs. Like, have you ever heard anything in school or anything like that? And we're like, no. It's like, it's cool living out here, and I know people because of what I do for a living, as far as the coaching and things like that. I know people all over the city and all the different areas, and people who live in, the black neighborhoods, people live wherever. And I just, maybe it's because I'm in a community that we're all doing the same thing, but I don't see it as, I don't know. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying. Let me go in here. Let me do it real quick. I got a super chat here from, I believe, C. Thomas. Hello, with a $2 chat on Streamlabs. Oh, Jaeger Pony. By the way, I didn't even see that yesterday because, okay, we're going to go back. Anyway, C. Thomas right now. $2. C. Thomas El Pizento. The Democrats never gave a shit about Nazis or whatever topical issue that happens to be high profile at the time. The Dems only want to be the nanny state. Also, Candace Owens should never be trusted. Yes, that's a very good statement. I agree with that 100%. I could see, she could turn on a dime and, shill for the other side. I think, as long as someone gave her the right talking points, she's kind of, I think Cult of Dusty's that way too. He turned on a dime and he's shitting all over all these people, but I don't know if I could talk about that, the thing that went on with him and Creationist Cat, Vadim Newquist, and Tim. That whole thing's a shit show. Anyway, we'll get into that another day. And also, yesterday, Jaeger Pony must have been during the off hours, gave me a $10 donation. The best part of waking up is reparations in your cup. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. You're awesome. Thank you so much. And you, C. Thomas, are awesome also. Thank you for the donations via Streamlabs. All right, let's get back into Candace here, and we'll finish this up.
Would have never come about, and they certainly believe that Donald Trump would not be in office today. Looking at the next thing to focus on now that the Russian collusion hoax has fallen apart.
Here, you know, yeah, that's why they're having this hearing. They need to put something else in the news. And so but unfortunately, the Republicans made a mistake here by having Candace Owens here, even though she's saying the right things in this opening statement. Again, it's written down. She's got it in her hand. It's hard to screw it up. But she is a super divisive figure, and just bringing attention to this, it takes the attention away from the fact that there are no more indictments. Now, it's going to be interesting because apparently the Mueller report's going to be released this week, and it'll be interesting to see if they decide they're going to need to find a way to distract from it or find a way to emphasize it. We'll just see. We'll just see what happens. But continuing on here, and before I do that, I got another one here, another donation through Streamlabs. C. Thomas, the SPLC needs an IRS audit. Ain't that the truth, C. Thomas? All right. Thank you very much for the $2. Appreciate you very much. All right, back to Candace, and we'll finish this up, and then we're going to move on.
What they won't tell you about the statistics
And
the
Mike.
rise of white nationalism is that they've simply changed the data set points by widening the definition of hate crimes and upping the number of reporting agencies that are able to report on them.
We talked about that the other day with the SPLC, and that's not the SPLC's fault. The FBI, you know, when they said, oh, there's a 15% rise in the reporting of hate crimes, that is strictly the reporting, not the actual hate crimes themselves. And we know that they've added over 1,000 new, it's a program that agencies, law enforcement agencies, and other NGOs can participate in. They've added over 1,000 new agencies in the last year. So even the FBI, when they say there's a 15% rise in the reportings, they even say it's more likely due to this fact that we have 1,000 new agencies reporting. And it wasn't even and it always seems to be in proportion to the increase in the number of agencies that report into their program. All right, here we go.
What I mean to say is that they're
Come on. Yeah.
manipulating statistics.
Manipulating
The goal
statistics.
here is to scare blacks, Hispanics, gays, and Muslims into helping them censor dissenting opinions, ultimately into helping them regain control of
I don't know why I'm having problems here. My
our
internet.
country's narrative, which they feel that they lost. They feel that President Donald Trump should not have beat Hillary. If they actually were concerned about white nationalism, they would be holding hearings on Antifa, a far-left, violent, white gang who determined one day in Philadelphia in August that I, a black woman, was not fit to sit in
I'm sorry about my internet
restaurants.
problems.
They chased me out. They yelled race traitor to a group of black and Hispanic police officers who formed a line to protect me from their ongoing assaults. They threw water at me. They threw eggs at me.
Yeah, come on.
Leftist media remained silent on it. If they were serious about the rise of hate crimes, they may perhaps be examining themselves and the hate that they have drummed up in this country. Bottom line is that white supremacy, racism, white nationalism, words that once held real meaning, have
I'm sorry about my internet
now
problems,
become
everybody.
nothing more than election strategies. Every 4 years, the black community is offered handouts and fear. Handouts and fear. Reparations and white nationalism. This is the Democrat preview. Of course, society is not perfectible. We've heard testimony of that today. There are pockets of evil that exist, and those things are horrible, and they should be condemned. But I believe the legacy and the ancestry of Black Americans is being insulted every single day. I will not pretend to be a victim in this country, and I know that that makes many people on the left uncomfortable. I want to talk about real issues in Black America. I want to talk about real issues in this country and real concerns. The biggest scandal, this is my last sentence, in American politics is that Democrats have been conning minorities into the belief that we are perpetual victims, all but ensuring our failure. Racial division and class warfare are central to the Democrat Party platform. They need blacks to hate whites, the rich to hate the poor, and soon enough it'll be the tall hating the short.
Okay, so again, when she's on script, there's a lot of things you can agree with. I'm still not a fan of the identity politics, but I get what her point is, and so there we go. All right, so I'm not, chat away about that. That's Candace Owens. I just don't want her to be the spokesman, though. I just don't. I think it's the wrong person. But she threw. There was a few truth bombs in there that just you could see the faces of the Democrats watching. They were not happy. So there you go. I didn't even tweet out this morning. By the way, I did not tweet out this morning that we were on. So if you really want to, right down there. Oops, that way. Right. Somewhere about there. I'm going to guess it's about there. I think that's where the arrow is. Click that arrow, chat, pop, do what you do, man. Do what you do. And let's see. I got oh, cool. Oh. All right, I'm going to check that story. Thank you, Sarah. I'm just checking what's going on. Plus, I got a super chat here via Streamlabs below. C. Thomas, another $2. Thank you, sir. Hate crimes are not real. Change my mind. Oh, man. One of these days, I am going to buy a microphone that I can use for remotes and maybe another camera. I don't know. My camera will do it, but I don't. I need to find one where I can do. The camera I want to buy will have super slow motion and things like that. But that's about $3,000. I'm not going to buy that right now. But I am going to go out with a camera and a microphone and do some on the street interviews. By the way, and I missed it. The other day, my wife called me, Lady Boomer. All the Lady Boomer. She called me and let me know that Westboro Baptist Church was protesting in my town this last weekend. And I was like, what? What is Westboro Baptist Church doing in my town? And apparently they came into town to, if you go, they have a website where they give you their schedule of where they're protesting. And apparently they decide, well, the Twin Cities is the weekend of the Final Four. Maybe we'll go protest in the Twin Cities. And so apparently they were out, and they weren't anywhere near the Final Four, at least not that I know of. But I know that they went to about 7 churches, and they had to get permits in all these little suburbs around here, and they went to like 7 or 8 different churches. And it was weird because they had this schedule, and they were at this one church from 8 to 8:30, and then at 9:45 they were at another church for another half hour, and then they went to another church for a half hour, and they went to another church for a half hour. And so she found this out, and I was going to go out there with a camera and just kind of figure out why the hell they were protesting the churches. And these are churches that, like the churches that have the signs, all are welcome, and me, I think, gay people are people too. Let them, Jesus does not judge. Come on into church, learn about the Lord. Okay. And I don't care. And I think it's weird that some churches have gay ministers or whatever, but weird or not, I don't know. If that's what your church does, that's what your church does. More power to you. Well, they were protesting these churches, and I really wanted to go out and do that. And I thought, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm sure that there'll be some news coverage. It'll be on local news or whatever. And we had someone coming over for Sunday brunch that day, and I'm like, I'm not going to go out there and do it. Someone else will do it. And so then the next morning, I'm thinking, okay, let's go find out what happened to Westboro Baptist Church. And I'm like, click, Westboro Baptist Church, blah, blah, blah. Twin Cities. What really almost made me happy is nobody covered it. Not one story about Westboro Baptist Church. Now, maybe I haven't looked lately because I should check again. But at least on Monday morning, nobody covered it. So that's my that is, to me, the power of free speech. We've allowed Westboro Baptist Church to do their thing. People have decided that they're nuts and they're not even worth covering because they're idiots. There you go. It's that's why when the white nationalists and Tiki Torch Dave or fucking what's his face Richard Spencer, if he goes out and has a protest, rather than having 45,000 people in Antifa and all that out there starting violence and making them more notorious, I think it would be much more effective is to organize about 1,000 people just to go out there, and when they come marching down the street, everyone just point at them and laugh. You guys are idiots. And I think that would be the most effective way to make them just go away. Oh man. Okay, so we're having I see in the chat we're having a little discussion about hate crimes. Let me just see here. She said Democrats pretend to care. They said that they're anti-hate crimes but don't speak out when Antifa attack black people for being race traitors. Oh, I see. She also said that hate crimes are on the rise because the definition of hate crimes has been widened to mean anything, and more places are able to report it. Oh yeah, that's what she said. And that's functionally correct. So, again, like I said, that's how the SPLC does hate crimes now. The FBI. The SPLC just reports on hate groups and calls everybody hate groups, and they widen that definition every time. But now they're in trouble. I think they're in trouble. I think people know that the part of it is that they have so much money on hand for a nonprofit too. They should be audited. They have money in hundreds of $1 million in overseas accounts too. But they have $500 million on hand, which is crazy. They've been raking in the money, just fundraising off of all this white nationalism stuff and the white supremacists and the new saying that there's all this many hate groups, and they have this glossy pamphlet they send out, and they get millions and millions of dollars from foundations and companies, and God, it's just and some of their employees even say it's a money-making scheme. So anyway, let's get into the trends of the day. But let me check. Actually, I want to check this out. We're going to open. Oh, I bet I know what this is, Sarah. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. I already planned on talking about this today, but I'll use your article instead today. All right, let's get into Twitter trends, though, because that's going to pop up in here anyway. So here it is, Twitter trends, and the number one trend of the day. It is National Siblings Day, which I did not know, but now that I know that, I will probably tweet out pictures of me and my siblings. I had, because a few of my siblings have passed away. I have 9 brothers and sisters. and which originally I did not. I was adopted, and I grew up with my one sister in my family, that I grew up with, and then when I discovered my birth mother, found out that I had two more sisters, and then when I met my father, found out that I had six more. So I do have some pictures of them. I wonder if I have any on my computer. Anyway, it's National Sibling Day. The first top tweet on this one, wishing a very happy National Siblings Day to Steeler Fan 1220, the luckiest sister in the world. Can you even imagine getting to be my sibling and how awesome that must be? Jesse Kelly's a funny dude. So lots of people celebrate. Oh, Mark Wahlberg celebrating his family there. They the famous Wahlberg clan. And the hamburger joint place. It's interesting. Wahlberg is opening some of their burger restaurants in some of the local grocery stores. If you're familiar with the Hy-Vee chain, they have this Hy-Vee Market Grill, and they're selling Wahlburgers in the Hy-Vee Market Grill. So anyway, there's lots of people tweeting out pictures of their siblings. So that's cool. Happy National Siblings Day. Of course, the first one, or someone, I'm laughing at this one down here. Oh, happy National Siblings Day from the Black Panther family. T'Challa and whatever his sister's name is in the movie. I don't know. Whatever. All right. National Siblings Day is number one. Number two today is the black hole. And this is the article that Sarah sent me. Scientists from around the world, sorry about my poor enunciation, have unveiled the first image of a black hole. They had a little press conference today. In fact, here's the article that Sarah sent me. First ever black hole image released. Astronomers have taken the first ever image of a black hole, which is located in a distant galaxy. It measures 40 billion kilometers across, 3 million times the size of the Earth, and has been described by scientists as a monster. The black hole is 500 million trillion kilometers away and was photographed by a network of 8 telescopes across the world. Details have been published today in Astrophysical Journal Letters. Professor Heino Falke of Radboud University in the Netherlands, who proposed the experiment, told BBC News that the black hole was found in a galaxy called M87. What we see is larger than the size of our entire solar system, he said. It has a mass 6.5 billion times that of the sun, and it is one of the heaviest black holes that we think exist. It is an absolute monster, the heavyweight champion of black holes in the universe. And let's see if this is here's the film. Yeah, so this is it. This is the first image. Oh, I don't want the music playing because I'll get, where is it? Turn that side.
True.
Oh.
You've been thinking about this for 20 years, and now you finally see it. And
well, hopefully my music will take care of it. Pretty cool. It's center of the distant galaxy, 300 million trillion miles away.
Well, it's this dark spot in the very center and this ring of fire surrounding it. Right in this shadow where light disappears, time seems to come to a standstill. Everything that passes through this region will never ever be able to come back in the theory of Einstein.
The black hole is 3.3 million times the size of the Earth.
We still have to understand how it really works, how it operates. We think the black hole is spinning itself. We have to measure this. We have to see how the light is actually generated.
It took a worldwide effort to capture this image. 8 telescopes from around the globe worked together. Combined, they created a virtual Earth-sized telescope, enabling them to capture the sharper image.
This is a super heavyweight champion among the black holes in the universe.
All right, so that's for those who are just listening and not watching. I was just describing the BBC video and reading the captions that Professor Falke was not reading himself. So it's really cool. One weird thing about that though, so they describe this. It's an absolute monster, the heavyweight champion of black holes in the universe. How do they know that? How do they know that there's not another black hole 10 times the size of it somewhere else? Now, it's the heavyweight champion of what maybe they've found in the universe or assume there's in the universe. What if, for example, now this is some deep stuff I'm getting into here. What if, for example, that black hole that they have found and have this image of, what if that black hole was actually the size of a piece of dust on your house in comparison to the actual size of the entire universe? Pretty deep, huh? What you know, how do they know? You know, we could be we could be the equivalent of an atom, and the Earth could be the entire universe. So it's interesting. Thank you, Functional. That's probably they don't know. They're speculating. Well, first off, they are hypothesizing it is a black hole. We obviously don't know if it actually is, but we can also judge this based on what we've been previously found and thought to be a black hole. Yeah, that's a good point. Also, I got a super chat here from C. Thomas, another $2. Thank you, sir. Singularities are nasty business and occur when a very large star collapses after its fuel burns out, then gets crushed by its own gravity. Even light can't escape, and better make your peace if you pass beyond the black hole event horizon. Okay, so there you go. And then we hypothesize based on gravity and light being bent that they are what we would consider a black hole. Yeah, you clearly know the science better than I do. But thank you, and I appreciate both of your contributions there, because I just don't know. So thanks, I appreciate it. Back to here we go. Oh, where the hell did I go here? What the hell did I just do? I'm supposed to be in Twitter. Oh, there we go. All right, back. Okay, so anyway, let's see. Okay, so lots of pictures of it. Lots of people talking about it. More answers to your ETHT black hole questions from our physics and space reporter, Leah Crane. How is it possible that a picture of a black hole was taken? I always thought that black hole sucks everything in, including light. And here's her answer. The picture is a black hole silhouette against bright material circling it. You're right. Nothing is coming out of the black hole. Okay, there's go into that hashtag. There's a lot of good information. There's people answering questions about it and things, but and that's all I'm gonna say about that. In the famous words of Forrest Gump. All right, number 3, black hole. Obviously, that's the same thing trending. Number 4, Lion King. I've decided that I'm not going to look at the trailers for any of these anymore while online because I keep getting content strikes from them. Although they're not actually, they're just copyright claims where they end up putting ads on my video that aren't monetized anyway. But go check out the new Lion King trailer. Is a full-length trailer, a full minute 49, supposedly of a pseudo live action Lion King. I don't know how they did that. It's a technical marvel. So the animation in the Lion King is obviously a technical marvel for the detail and realism, unlike anything we've ever seen. But the issue I'm having is that Simba running for his goddamn life be looking like meh. Okay, so anyway, that actually looks pretty cool though. I've seen some of the trailers and things for this that they're previewing the Lion King. So, Oh yeah, there was Jesse in there. That was just I had some tabs open. Nothing weird though, like some. Oh, and finally we got to a Wednesday. The number 5 is Wednesday Wisdom. Let's see what the first thing on Wednesday Wisdom is. If we truly want to continue making progress for women within society, we shouldn't compare ourselves to men. We should be comparing ourselves to who we were yesterday. Wow, that's pretty deep. I agree with that. You know what? I don't compare yourself to anybody. Compare yourself to what your best is, and there you go. But that's not my. I don't know if that's going to be my favorite. Lisa Britton. Who is Lisa Britton? Let's see. Lisa Britton. By the way, do not. Oh, she's a children's book author. Okay. Anyway, let's find another good Wednesday wisdom. Even though okay, there are no mistakes in life, just lessons. Good morning, Craig. Good morning, Jaeger Pony. How are ya? Hey, that brings me to a good point, because I always as you know, I coach basketball, and I always tell my teams, because this kind of plays off of what I tell my teams at the beginning of each season. I tell them that practice is the place where I expect you to make mistakes. I expect you, if you never make a mistake in practice, then you're not trying hard enough, because you're just taking the easy route. The harder you work, the more mistakes you might make, but also you will learn from mistakes and improve. You cannot be in your comfort zone if you never make a mistake. So that is what I teach my kids about practice. And in fact, I think it says that on all my emails. It says, the end of my emails say what? Here, let me see what I have a built-in email thing that when I send emails to the parents and players. Here, I'll just read that one for you. If my email's here. Oh shoot! And I have the wrong email set up. Hang on, this dang thing. Oh, Gmail drives me nuts. They change how it works about every third time you use it. Okay. Oh, Gmail turns 15. Yippee! I don't care. I'm not here to. So my statement that finishes every one of my emails says, practice is the time to make mistakes and learn how to correct and overcome them. If you're not making mistakes in practice, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. So that's my motto with my basketball teams. All right, moving on. Next trend of the day, because we've got our Wednesday wisdom, and I'm not going to do Wednesday thoughts or Wednesday morning or whatever that usually is. Sauron. So the Eye of Sauron, that would be the old black hole. So we've kind of already been there. I put this back up so you can see what I'm talking about. There's the old Eye of Sauron again, the black hole that they've got a picture of finally. All right, so moving back on, the next thing after that. Oh, this is funny, and this is the Donald Trump that I kind of grew up knowing. George Washington is trending number 7. And it's because of something Donald Trump said. Of course, every day something Donald Trump says will be trending, either something he says or something that he tweets. And this is one of those statements by Donald Trump where I just shake my head. But if you know anything about the history of Donald Trump, it's one of those perfect statements that you would hear from Donald Trump. Donald Trump on George Washington during a visit to Mount Vernon. If he was smart, he would have put his name on it. You've got to put your name on stuff or no one remembers you. I love it because Donald Trump, he started out because he put his name on everything. But he's talking about George Washington in the city. What's that city called where he's kind of has a residence right now? Oh, yeah. Washington, D.C., where they have this giant penis-looking statue called the Washington Monument in a country that has a state called Washington. But it's one of those things that Trump says that you gotta wonder, was he just saying something to be funny and these guys took him seriously? I gotta think yes, it's a bizarre statement if you're political, but here's Politico's description. Inside Trump's truly bizarre visit to Mount Vernon, the 45th president, no student of history, marveled at the first president's failure to name his historic compound after himself. Well, a couple things. What's this? Trump is the most powerful person on the planet after all, so says the left. Yeah, it's funny because to a lot of people, he's not only the dumbest person in the world, but he's also an evil genius who thought of a way to get himself elected by conspiring with the Russians. I swear, isn't that a conspiracy theory of just the most epic proportions? Some people, I remember there was a point where someone said, yeah, he's been conspiring with the Russians since for 10 years. Because how the F did the Russians know that Donald Trump would ever get the Republican nomination? How would they have known that 10 years ago? How? I'm guessing he was making a joke too, but he does that. He says things that make people talk about him. So let's look at the Politico article. Trump's truly bizarre visit to Mount Vernon. Donald Trump has some advice for George Washington. During a guided tour of Mount Vernon last April. Wait a minute. Last April? This is from last April with Marco. Why is this news on April 10th, 2019? Oh my God. It was a joke. It was a joke from a year ago. So this is even something, I thought it was something he said yesterday. During a guided tour of Mount Vernon last April with French President Emmanuel Macron, Trump learned that Washington was one of the major real estate speculators of his era. So he couldn't understand why America's first president didn't name his historic Virginia compound or any of the other property he acquired after himself. If he was smart, he would have put his name on it, Trump said, according to 3 sources briefed on the exchange. You've got to put your name on stuff or no one remembers you. The VIP's tour for the evening, guide for the evening, Mount Vernon President and CEO Doug Bradburn told the president that Washington did, after all, succeed in getting the nation's capital named after him. Good point, Trump said with a laugh. So this was a joke. I'm pretty sure this was a joke. I'm pretty sure he was just being facetious, and some moron took him personally. Took it, whatever the word is. Took it, not personally, took it, I'm so stunned at this whole thing, I can't even talk. Anyway, America's 45th president is open about the fact that he doesn't read much history. What? Okay. Why did they drop this article today? Anybody? Why? Why? This happened a year ago. And they're writing at 4/10/2019. What's bizarre about this article is that it's even written today. And now it's trending on Twitter. Go effing figure. I don't get it. All right. enough. So now, of course, David Frum. If Trump had a sense of humor, he would have criticized George Washington for not charging the District of Columbia a licensing fee to use his name. I think he did have a sense of humor. The fact that he said, or no one would remember him, I'm pretty sure is a joke. Just like that thing, when they keep bringing up in this whole Mueller thing, that when Trump was making the speech, and he made this was absolutely a joke. He made the joke where he said, and Russia, if you're listening, maybe you can find Hillary Clinton's 30,000 missing emails. And all these jackasses out here. Now, I'm not a fan of Trump, but all these jackasses out here saying, see, he's colluding with Russia. He told them to find those emails. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a joke. A joke. A joke. Hi, K-Smasher. Yes. Welcome to the show. My name's Dawg Knight, also Marty Johnson, but I go by Dawg Knight on the internet. And I welcome you to the show because you know what? We had our fun with good old Candace Owens this morning. But welcome to the show. I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. So there you go. And Key Smasher. I thought it said K. I am getting up there in age, so I can't always read the thing. Plus, I have it really tiny on my screen, so there you go. Key Smasher, hello. I don't know what's going on here, but fuck this heifer, aka Candace. Candace is an evil con artist. Please watch the videos that Tree of Logic has on. I've watched every video that Tree has made on Candace Owens. I'm very familiar, and I just don't, I don't trust her. Just don't. Sorry, but thank you very much. I welcome to the show. Let's see. Please watch it. And I've been here before in live stream about Juicy Manlet. Yes, I am all things Jussie Smollett. Can you smell it, brother? Can you smell it? Okay, now I just got another, let's see, via Streamlabs, the Super Chats of Death. Again, see Tom at El Pezento. The MSM are so desperate and dishonest that they will treat all jokes Trump says as dead serious. Hashtag autism is unstoppable. There you go. Thank you, C. Thomas. Thank you very much. I appreciate the love and the $2 from you. Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to the next. What's next today? Because I got to get away from whatever the hell that joke was he told. Oh, Durham. Uh-oh. There was a gas explosion in Durham, North Carolina. People may be talking about this. A photographer used a drone to capture aerial images of a pollen cloud hovering over Durham. What? That's not really why. That's not. I think the reason it's trending is because firefighters are battling a blaze triggered by a suspected gas leak at a building in downtown Durham, North Carolina. So hopefully they get that under control. It's trending. Oh man, looks pretty bad.
Couldn't survive that.
Holy moly! That's a serious explosion, and they're trying to break. This is crazy. They're trying to take care of it. All right, so you hope that there weren't people injured or even killed in that. All right, let's go moving on. So that'll probably that'll trend up a little bit today. Oh, I don't like it when I see names like this. James Earl Jones. Oh, okay. It's just about something about the Lion King. Okay, Oliver Willis, who he's a writer for Media Matters. I feel like using my newfound power as the voice of Black America. Oliver and I have a long history. I've been interacting with him since he was a teenager back in the 90s, when he was just a blogger. But he works for Media Matters, so that kind of gives you an idea of where Oliver stands on things in the world. But And I feel like using my newfound power as the voice of Black America to declare some figures untouchable. Like you can't criticize them ever. Obviously, Dr. King, but also Michelle Obama. Why can't you? Oh, Oliver, come on now. You can criticize Michelle Obama, but James Earl Jones, do not ever criticize James Earl Jones. Use the Force, Luke. Use the Force. Me hearing James Earl Jones saying, "You must take your place in the circle of life." How's that? How's my James Earl Jones imitation doing? Is that pretty good? Use the Force, Luke. Use the Force. Anyway, apparently, okay, because the Lion King is coming out. Apparently, they're using his voice again. I guess I don't know. So let's discuss Scar because I'm upset. Jeremy Irons delivered an iconic performance. He should have came back just like James Earl Jones. Okay, so James Earl Jones is still being the voice of Mufasa. I'm trying to think of a Mufasa line and I can't think of it. James Earl Jones back as the voice of Mufasa in the Lion King remake, but couldn't rehire Jeremy. I thought Jeremy Irons was pretty cool as Mufasa in the animated one. Well, this is animated too, but more live action looking. That is some incredible animation. Let's just look at this without the sound. Because I like how it looks, but I just don't want to get the strike. Let's take a look at this. I wasn't going to do this, but this looks really good. Is this my little friend? I'm not going to do everything in the Mufasa voice. Others spend lives in the dark. Begging for scraps. Oh, James Earl Jones was brilliant in Field of Dreams. I love that movie. Oh, whoa. Mufasa line. Let me see if I can do it. Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. While others search for what they can take, a true king searches for what he can give. All right, that was my... This looks brilliant. When they do this kind of animation, there's going to be sequences when they stop frame, it's not going to look as good. God, look at that. That is just brilliant animation, man. You must take your place in the circle of life. The Lion King. All right, that looks pretty cool. All right, I gotta move on because I'm running out of time here. So that's more on the Lion King. Messier 87. That's the black hole. We'll skip that. Interstellar, probably because of trending because of the black hole. Hump Day. It is Wednesday. Hump Day is trending. Let's just get the top hump. Oh. When they say hump day, hold on. I want to get something in the hashtag, but I don't want that showing up. Whatever that was, because it was, did that show up on my screen? God, I hope I didn't. Did that show up on my screen? I hope it did not. Don't need vag and butts and things showing. Why is this all right, I'm not gonna, all right, fuck it. It's all porn. I'm not doing that. Get out of here. We're not doing hump day. Sorry. Good God. That's the danger of doing a live show when you're doing Twitter trends. Tomas Boy, I don't know what that is. The only thing I thought it was Tommy Boy. I see. We hired Tomas Boy as head coach to fight regulation next season. I don't know what the hell that means. Anyone know what Tomas Boy knew? Is he a what? I don't know. I don't care. Let's get out of that one. Oh Lord, I'm still triggered by the hump day hashtag. Jungle Book. What? Why is okay? Jungle Book's trending too because the new Lion King trailer looks I could put this back on the screen. The new Lion King trailer just look so devoid of personality. In the Jungle Book, the animals had some unique traits in their designs. Here they just looked so generic. I barely recognized Zazu and mistook Scar for Mufasa, for fuck's sake. Well, God sakes, who cares? It's trending because The Lion King is trending and the same people did the animation. Okay, whatever. Yeah, thoughts. My hump day is over. Nothing like that happened to me. Yeah, Wisconsin Supreme Court is trending. I can't imagine why. Liberal Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate concedes, bringing the court's conservative majority to 5-2. Apparently there was a they elect their Supreme Court judges like we do here in Minnesota. I've never really understood. I kind of understand it, but I don't. Let's see. I said partisan politics has no place at the Wisconsin Supreme Court, that I would protect the public, and that our job is to uphold the Constitution as written. I meant every word, and I will endeavor to fulfill these promises with all my ability. That's candidate Molly Beck. I don't know. Apparently they had an election. Judge Lisa Niebuhr, a progressive choice in last week's race for the Wisconsin Supreme Court, concedes to conservative Brian Hagedorn. Conservatives now have a 5-2 margin on the bench, and liberals can't reclaim it before redistricting. So, all right, well, there you go. It's trending. I didn't know the entire country cared about the Wisconsin Supreme Court, but maybe it's because of proximity to where I live that shows up in the trendings. Katie Bowman, don't know who that is. Katie Bowman, she's 3 years ago, MIT grad student. Katie Bowman led the creation of a new algorithm to produce the first ever image of a black hole. Hey, that's cool. Katie Bowman, you are high on my list right now, because that's very cool that you had something to do with being able to pull up that image. We'll do a couple more. 6.5 billion. I'm guessing that has to do with the black hole. BBC News First. Why is BBC News First trending? I don't know. Oh, because of the black hole. Okay, we'll skip that. Lincoln Yards. Lightfoot backs Lincoln Yard at what? In the 78? This is something in Chicago. Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot for Chicago claims small victory in Lincoln Yards, the 78 tax increment financing deals, after getting developers to agree to boost work for minority and women-owned businesses. Now she heads to Springfield for meetings with Governor Pritzker and legislative leaders. So, okay, so she wanted this to happen, but apparently demonstrators opposed the Lincoln Yards tax increment financing, shutting down LaSalle Street in front of City Hall. So there's a fight between the new, very liberal yet business-oriented mayor and some of the constituents. They wanted money for housing, not the 1%. Okay, this is Chicago politics, man. Chicago politics is a trip. I'm sorry. If I'm honest, in that trailer, I didn't even see Scar. Yeah, there wasn't a big difference between Scar and any of the other lines, so that was hard to tell. But I think maybe, too, we only saw a trailer where you only saw him for a second. Perhaps in the actual movie, Scar will be more distinct. Who knows? But, all right, so that's why that's trending. I don't know. It's Chicago. I'm tired of Chicago. Anything else that I want to talk about in here? No, Black Hole Wednesday motivation. Okay, that's enough. All right, that's Twitter trends for today. How much time do I got? Oh, I'm already out of time. Well, you know what, folks? When I came this morning, that didn't sound right. When I came to my computer this morning, and saw, I'm sorry. For those of you who are not fans of Candace Owens, and I will include myself in that list, I hope and pray that you made it through this broadcast unscathed. There were some, like I said, there certainly were some things that I found myself agreeing with, but I just don't trust that woman. I just don't. So if she stays on script, I will tell you when I agree with her, and I will gladly tell you when I don't agree with her. But I don't know. She's griftomatic extraordinaire in my book. But anyway, she's obviously hit a nerve and has become very successful in whatever it is that she does, and now she's gotten to testify before Congress. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you everybody for joining me today on the Morning Night Live, and I'm going to finish up my coffee and take a trip to the next thing I need to do. But again, thank you for being here. We are here Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT for those of you in other parts of the world, because Americans don't use that GMT thing. But hey, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Thank you to C. Thomas for being my super chatter of the day. Thank you to Jaeger Pony to being my super chatter of yesterday from down on Streamlabs. Please make sure if you haven't done already, subscribe to the channel. Hit that share arrow and send this out. If you see my videos, I'm going to cut up clips from these, and I'm doing some standalone videos. Please share the clips. Some people just like to take it in smaller bites. That's fine. And if you are so inclined, we do donations and super chats through Streamlabs, which is in the description down below. Thank you so much for being here. That's it for today. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.